Good evening. Welcome to Maples Pavilion. ACC Women's College Volleyball on tap. Number 5, Stanford, playing host to the visiting Duke Blue Devils, joined by Jenna Becerra, Greg Meskel. Here with you, Jenna. Stanford, you were here coming off a sweep over North Carolina. That match tighter than maybe the score would indicate.
It was. The first set was absolutely back and forth the entire way, but Jordan Harvey really emerged as the game continued, as the match went on. 14 kills leading the match, and 560 she was hitting with 6 digs and 4 blocks.
Duke, meanwhile, they were over in Berkeley last night, swept by the Cal Bears. That score actually rather indicative of what went on. Really tough second set there for the Blue Devils. Cal serving aggressively. And now Duke, the challenge only gets harder for them going up against Stanford. Conversely, the Cardinal and Kevin Hambley mentioned this pre-match, have to fight against your human nature. On paper, they should win this against Duke. They have to go out and actually do it.
That's absolutely right. And the high standards for Stanford don't stop. They don't take a look at what name is across the other team's chest. Duke is coming off of a 7-match losing streak. They've been swept all 7 of those times, including last night at Cal, whereas Stanford on a 9-match winning streak with that big-time top 15 win last night.
So we are ready to get things started here. Julia Blashaw will serve for the Cardinal. Overpass right out of the gate. Good fight there from Duke. The tip dug out by Stanford. They'll go to Rubin. Controlled there by Mylan Godshall. And we play on. Nice rally to open things up here, and it's terminated by a familiar face, Elia Rubin.
No surprise to see the senior All-American, who was recently announced as a Player of the Year finalist, start things off for the Card, as she's done so many times.
Stanford starting group. You see Blashaw serving here, making things tough. Big swing. Dug there by Blashaw on that back row. Little power tip from Jordan Harvey. She's joined out there by Spencer Etzler, Lizzie Andrew, Elia Rubin, Erica Sayre, Logan Parks.
Harvey just knows how to get the right angle here. If you take another look, the back set's beautiful from Parks, finds the spot in the middle of the floor.
So a good start here for Stanford, 2-0. That one dances off the tape. Now Blue Devils can go to work. One of their big hitters, Taylor Williams, on the attack. Outside look for Rubin, roll shot there, handled well. Back set now, back to Williams, denied at the net. Looking for a quick swing. Cardinal ready. Duke can reload, pushing to that back row. Blashaw's been busy, she's ready. Stanford will put her across. Free ball now for Duke. Back to Williams. The dig there from the Cardinal and Parks. And now Rubin.
Rubin once again making her presence known at the net. Last night hit under 300, which for her high standards isn't quite what we're used to seeing, but she was just warming up at the end of the match.
That's how talented she is, right? Under 300. If it's not there, people are wondering, hey, is she off a little bit? So good. The All-American. Quick set middle. Easy money up front. Stanford locked in early. 4-0.
That's what makes Stanford so dangerous. You have the senior leadership, but then you have the freshman, one of them, Erica Sayre from Colorado Springs. She's been an immediate impact.
So here's the outside hitter. Blashaw continues to serve. 4-0 lead. Williams from the back row. To the outside. Rubin, more of the same. Elia Rubin had 12 kills in the win over North Carolina. That's what she does as of late, double figures, 6 of her last 7.
And so versatile in how she's able to contribute as well. You know, a couple of assists, an ace, 4 digs, and 5 blocks in addition to those 12 kills.
And Duke will take a timeout here as Stanford has surged in front, 5-0. Well, one of the talking points earlier on was, would Stanford have a little bit of a letdown here against a Duke team that is struggling? Early on, the answer is no.
And that's what you want to do, right, is continue to have that momentum. And they are tied right now at the top of the standings in the ACC with Pitt, who they're going to host next week. That is a big-time matchup. The last thing you need to do is take the foot off the gas right now, heading into preparing for that, and even just taking things one match at a time and having that mentality.
Yeah, that big Pittsburgh SMU tandem weekend coming out here to the West Coast. So Stanford will host Pitt and then SMU. Those are big challenges, and talked to Kevin Hambley about that. And the schedule, the top of this league is so good. Multiple teams will go to the NCAAs. The bottom of the league when they're struggling, they're really struggling. And said, how do you prepare for the ebbs and flows? And he said, we always prepare for the up, always prepare for the really, really good team. And so even against a team like Duke, they gear up like it's Pitt, like it's SMU.
There's 18 teams in this conference for women's volleyball, right? I mean, Duke was picked 11th in the preseason poll. They're tied at the bottom there with Virginia Tech right now. Stanford was picked 3rd, and they're tied right at the top. So that doesn't always indicate necessarily exactly what's going to happen, and it's because it does matter what actually happens between the lines on the court.
Ready to resume play here. It's been the Julia Blashow show here from the service line. 5-0 start. And Carlsbad, California, so serve again. Back rows there, Zubcevic now looking for Williams. The dig from Rubin. Back set, Harvey. Long run here for Godshall. They'll put this across, free ball for the Card. Outside Rubin, little soft touch. They've got to just put it across, they do. And now going quick. And that is off target. And so the first point for Duke here comes on an attack error from Sayer.
A little bit of a break for Duke, too, as they can reset the side out that they needed. Just getting on the board, too, right? Get that monkey off your back.
Get a chance to serve, get Blashow off the service line. You see Williams here, part of this starting group. Brianna Goss, Mylan Godshall, the libero that seems to be all over the court. Avery Hamlin, part of their attack. The swing there, and another termination, this time off the block. That works well.
The depth of this Stanford team just never ceases to amaze with who can actually contribute to the attack.
And now serving, it's Spencer Etzler, and that's an ace. You talk about who can contribute, everyone getting in on the act now.
And Etzler also yesterday, she does it again here today. She got the ace, and that's what ended the first set, getting the victory for Stanford over number 15, North Carolina. It was a huge moment.
Such a definitive way to end a set with a service ace, and now off the tape. Zubcevic ready. They'll go outside here in the block. Goodness, Lizzie Andrews says no.
Lizzie Andrews, another one who just has that presence in the middle. She had 9 blocks last night, a match high. It's intimidating going up against her at the net.
Middle blocker, Lizzie Andrew, all-ACC freshman team last year. Quick look to Goss. Cardinal fumbling with it. They're able to keep it alive, keep it up, get it across. And then the dig there from Etzler. And now Harvey sets her feet. Godshall will set the table. And that is just in. Beautiful piece of attacking there. Finds the line.
That's what the Blue Devils needed in this moment. Get your first kill, right? The first one was an error on the attack from Stanford to get their first point. Now they're doing it on their terms.
Here's the libero, Godshall. Service error into the net there and give the point back to Stanford. In front now, 9-2 in the first. Cardinal 21-3 overall, 12-1 in the league. That's long. No touch there from Duke. Service error there from the Cardinal.
That's something we do see from the Cardinal. They tend to be very aggressive as they approach their process at the service line, but yesterday actually 6 service errors. That's pretty low for them for what they're used to putting out there.
Looking for Rubin. Dig comes right to the net. Glass looks for the dump. Cardinal ready. Here's Andrews on the slide. Just ran out of real estate there. And the point to Duke. Good idea there for Lizzie Andrews. Just didn't get underneath it enough.
That's right, and Duke trying to make some of the adjustments too, just from watching the tape, watching themselves as well. That's what head coach Jolene Nagel said. They were doing some self-evaluation after last night's match against Cal, taking a look at what they saw themselves, discussing it with the coaches, and figuring out what those adjustments need to be.
Quick turnaround for both these teams. Typically a day off in between league play. Decided to go back-to-back. Ellie Rubin now serving for Stanford. Zubcevic denied, but tools the block and give the point to Duke.
back-to-back days, just over 24 hours, really, where you're playing the two West Coast teams in the ACC. That's something that Coach Nagel said they actually requested the Saturday match so they could have a regular flight on Sunday. They have a Thursday match this coming week. They're learning and figuring out how they can manage this cross-country travel with the realignment in the conferences across the country.
Yeah, she mentioned they'll try it this year, see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe won't do it again. Service error there. But it's an interesting question, right? It's a normal flight home tomorrow, or it's a red-eye tomorrow night if they play tomorrow, then a quick turnaround Thursday. Trying to figure out what's best. You've got class schedules to account for as well. There are a lot of logistics that go into those choices.
Both these programs do a ton of research with sports performance, sports med, to just figure out what's best for their bodies and also just mentally and emotionally as well, just the wellness overall of the athlete.
Here's defensive specialist Coco Kershaw to serve. Now Williams. The dig, and just running out of space. It was Logan Parks. And we'll see Spencer Etzler return. Stanford with a couple of critical freshmen in big spots here. Think about Etzler in that libero role, Parks in that setter spot. They have such a good history in this program of getting people in those roles as freshmen, and they grow into be just absolutely amazing players.
Oh my goodness, Cami Miner was a mainstay in the setter role during her time, recent graduate, and then of course Elena Ogilvie as the libero. Conference honors for each of them in those positions in the Pac-12 more than once.
And that duo, right, they replace people like Morgan Hansen, Jenna Gray, and the list just goes on and on for Stanford. They're so good in those two critical spots. And we'll have it back here. This is the Setter Parks out of Overland Park, Kansas. Former Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year. Right to the net here for Glass. They get Goss on the run. Now going outside, Harvey, cross-court snipe.
Stanford getting back in the rhythm here a little bit. You can see perfectly timed for Harvey, well executed, textbook.
Jordan Harvey, great night last night with 14 kills in that win over the Tar Heels. And they'll call an ace, rather anticlimactic there.
Placed just inside the line. Some confusion here on the board after.
It was so subtly called, even Stanford thought it was out. And
Yes.
then had to be reminded, no, that's our serve. We get to go again. So Logan Parks will keep it going. That one nearly eats up Hamlin. Now Williams floating to that ball, and that's a beautiful attack there from Taylor Williams. Back home here out of Mountain View, California. No doubt some friends and family in the stands here for the St. Francis grad.
Definitely a plus of the realignment with some of the conferences in the ACC. Get to come out back home for a conference matchup.
Well, club and high school volleyball is so strong in California, and there's only so many spots on Stanford's, the Cals. So if you want to play, got to go elsewhere. And Williams showing why she was a big get for Duke.
And Williams is the key, really, for this Duke team. I mean, she had a team-high 7 kills yesterday, but she also exceeded 450 in her career with that performance at Cal. But she tied a career high of 4 blocks as well. She's the one to get them going.
Sayer dumps that down right inside the block. Duke just not closing out there.
Good effort there.
Eric Sayer, another key freshman. Here's Williams, denied. They'll put it across. Quick set here. Timing is off for Sayer. She's able to just put it across herself. And then a big swing. And looking for a tip there was Hamlin, to no avail. Her attack goes long, and Stanford's up 17-8.
Attack errors make it tough. While they're on the receive end of things, one thing that Coach Nagel talked about is having quality digs. What a break right there.
Second service error for the Cardinal tonight. We're talking about attack percentage. Right now, Duke sub 100, 0.87. Stanford hitting at a 316 clip here in this first set. Rubin helping that cause with her latest kill. That's 4 for Elia Rubin now. Comes in averaging a little more than 3 kills a set, so right on her pace.
It's a match high with those 4 kills. She's hitting 500 already tonight.
Etzler now going outside on the back set. Etzler had that one blasted off her torso, comes across the net. Quick set there to Goss, denied by the Cardinal. And again, Andrew just not going to allow anything simple for Duke, using all of her 6'5" frame.
Just a sophomore, but does not compete like it. She has been a huge impact in just her presence. You mentioned 6'5" frame that she has, but the awareness that she's also built over the first couple of years is something to see.
Going outside here, Zubcevic down the line. That's out of play. And Stanford quickly, 20-9. And we'll see a timeout called by the Duke Blue Devils. So a 20-9 lead here for Stanford in the first timeout. Duke will take a quick timeout ourselves and come back shortly. 20-9, Stanford leading Duke here in the first. Not a very long history between these two. Just the 8th meeting all time. Stanford 7-0. Thus far, looking to make it 8-0 here, continuing their roll towards the postseason. Quick set to Goss. Parks there. Etzler now, Rubin. Such a big windup. How do you stop it? Few teams have figured it out.
It's the power behind this swing, like you said. The court vision that she has, too, to just find the holes.
Now a senior out of Santa Monica, California, has been an absolute stud for this team since day one. That'll be one of her easier kills tonight. That ball came right to her. Easy smash there for Rubin. Kevin Hambley's raved about her decision-making, so that's the thing that's taken her next level this season. She's gotten so good at how and when to put pressure on the defense, where to attack. That's how she's become one of the most elite players in the game. 22-9, long run here for Godshall. All the way across there for Lauren Ingram. Etzler hunts that down. Glass now goes to Goss. Andrew, of course, waiting. Over the block and out of play, and this is the Lizzie Andrew effect right now, Jenna. They can't go at the net. She'll put it back in their face. They have to try to somehow hit over the block, and that's very hard to do with 6'5" in the way.
It does, and you are going to get some attack errors in that case. There are 6 on the day already for Duke. Just a couple for Stanford in comparison.
23-9 now. Little tip, and again, Andrew the dunk. Just hanging, waiting, and delivering, and just that fast. We're looking at set point here, 24-9.
The presence right there.
Spencer Etzler to try to wrap up this first set. Tough one for Williams. Ingram denied the block, and that's all. Stanford makes quick work of the Blue Devils in this first set, 25-9. Lizzie Andrew, 4 blocks up front. Elia Rubin does the job on the offensive end. 6 kills. Jordan Harvey in the mix as well with 3. And that's a classic Stanford opening set. They left no doubt.
Elia Rubin and Jordan Harvey, if they're going to hit 600 in an opening set, they're going to put this Stanford team in a quality position. They combined for 9 kills. It's a great start if you're a Cardinal fan.
So 1 set in the books here at Maples. We'll take a timeout and return with more. You're watching ACC Women's Volleyball right here live from Stanford.
Welcome back here to Maples Pavilion. The number 5 Stanford Cardinal hosting the Duke Blue Devils, their second ever meeting for ACC play. The Cardinal took set number 1, 25-9 in dominant fashion. And we got the fans doing the wave here at Maples. The Cardinal energy is strong. the Duke Blue Devils trying to stay in this one. They come into it 2-11 in ACC play, 5-19 overall. Stanford at the top of the standings, 12-1 in the ACC, 21-3 overall. Jenna Becerra here with my partner Greg Meskel, and that was a pretty dominant performance we saw, and Elia Rubin in particular really came through.
Yeah, as advertised, right? Just one of the best, not only in the ACC, but in the country. And every time Stanford targeted her, good things happened.
Taylor Yu in the match now, and there's Rubin right away on cue, getting the first point of the second set, and her 7th kill of the match.
Well, how prophetic of you, Jenna, to bring up Elia Rubin, and then right away they go to her. This is just textbook stuff here. Good pass, right in motion, and she delivers with authority.
Spencer Etzler at the line. Set, here's Williams, that's off the block. Taylor Yu with the back set. Over to Harvey, she'll tool the block. That's her 4th tonight. Hitting over 600 so far in this match.
And great to see Taylor Yu out there. Kevin Hambley's talked about the opportunity to rotate players in and out. We've seen them kind of in this group of 3 hitters, only play with 2, so they're getting more bodies out there.
Over to Williams again, and shut down once again. Lizzie Andrew, Jordan Harvey are both fired up over there on the right side.
Second look here, and again, you see how high that set is. It gives the time for the blockers to say, we know where this is going, let's get in position. Andrew, Harvey, they're too good of a duo, they're ready.
3-0 run so far is ended with the service error. Duke on the board, 3-1 here in the second set.
A bit about those rotations, right? So Julia Blashaw and Elia Rubin get the start tonight, but Ipar Kurt, also a talented outside, and really just 2 spots right for 3 players. You've seen Kurt and Blashaw rotate around.
Lizzie Andrew. Once again, we've seen her with the block, we've seen her with the kill. The versatility continues.
Again, if you're going to get Lizzie Andrew in space like that, she's so much taller than a defender, it's an easy put away.
Skims the net. Back set. Outside the line. Had to double check there to make sure.
Duke thinks there was a tip.
A conversation between head coach Jolene Nagel with the officials here. They're going to review it.
And why not? It's been a tough start for Duke. You might as well. Can't take him home with you. Challenges.
Yeah, Jolene Nagel has been an institution for Duke athletics in her 27th season now. For Duke women's volleyball, she has over 500 wins at Duke, 717 wins overall. She is 5th when it comes to active head coaches in terms of win total. She was just the 9th to hit that 700 win mark. So she's seen a lot of different seasons for this Duke volleyball program.
Yeah, longest tenured coach in the ACC right now of all the women's volleyball programs. As we're getting a look at the replay here, did that get a piece of the finger of Lizzie Andrew? Looks like. Hard to tell as they'll run through a few replays there, but thinking about Nagel or before Kevin Hambley, John Dunning, Stanford and Duke, these are destination programs. Coaches get here in sports and they don't leave. This is where you want to get to finish your career, and so you tend to see coaches in a lot of programs across these 2 campuses 25, 30 years in a variety of sports.
And it's been a tough go so far this season for Duke women's volleyball, but Nagel has taken this program to 14 NCAA appearances, including an ACC record 7 straight from 2005 to 2011. 4-time ACC Coach of the Year. There's a lot of knowledge there throughout her very storied career.
My very unofficial opinion here, looks like the finger of Lizzie Andrew is bent backward by that ball. We'll see if the referees agree. Again, my opinion does not matter. Just sharing what I think I see here.
It's always interesting to see the DV Sport vision that the officials are able to look at. And it does sound like the call is going to be reversed. There was a touch by Stanford. So a good challenge there from head coach Nagel.
And a rare win for me on the review. I'm typically wrong somehow, even though I watched the replay about 19 times.
So now 2 serving 4. Shaw's at the line, but it's going to go into the net for a service error. That's the 5th on the day for the Blue Devils.
Stanford fans would say, ball don't lie. Give that right back on the service error.
Rubin, who we've already talked about so much tonight, at the service line now. That's going to go long. So they will trade service errors. That's number 4 for the Cardinal. And Duke's back within 2.
And if you're the Blue Devils, it has been a tough go. We talked about the losing. They knew this would be a tough season with the youth. Trying to just get some small victories here, string some good moments together.
There's
like
a good
that.
moment right there. Olivia Wayne, the freshman out of Dallas, Texas, getting the ace. This is the closest we have really seen the Blue Devils to the Cardinal. It's a 1-point set. There's you in the back row. Harvey answers immediately. Jordan Harvey with her 5th kill. She's nearing 700 in the hit percentage column.
And I asked Kevin Hambley, what are some things you're trying to add, tighten up as we get towards the stretch run? He said, we want to layer in some more back row attacking. You see that there from Jordan Harvey.
Cardinal up 6-4 with Coco Kirsch on the line. Redshirt sophomore, defensive specialist, comes in to serve. There's the back set. There's Ipar Kurt, by the way, who's in for the Stanford Cardinal as well. And you talked about her abilities in addition to Julia Blashoff, who we've seen. She was right there at the net.
That almost seemed to be just off the tape there from Elo. I don't think it would have cleared the net anyway, given the block from Stanford.
I agree. That's what I saw as well. This time it does. Ngazi Elo, the redshirt senior, putting one on the board. That's her first of the night.
This is a great idea by Elo, right? She gets stuffed by the net. There was a big block in the way previously. So what do? That block's coming again. Go away from the block. Good placement there from one of the veterans on this team.
Serve from Lauren Ingram, and the back set there to Sayer is blocked. Cardinal resetting. Here's Ipar Kurt. Handled by the Blue Devils. Back row, off the tape. Setting up Kurt once again. That goes long. Cardinal thought there was a touch, but the point is awarded to Duke.
Second look here. Kurt initially had a reaction of a touch and then decided against it.
Ingram continues at the line. You over to Erica Sayer. She'll make it a 2-point match in this set once again.
Beautiful here, getting Sayer on the move. Again, anytime you get these middles moving to their strong side, comfortable with space, it's going to be very hard for the defense.
Taylor Yu at the service line. Here's Williams. Metzler. Over to Harvey. Once again, Air Jordan. Kill number 6.
We highlighted Rubin's decision-making and placement, but we've seen it now through 2 sets here. Harvey does a great job of identifying where isn't the defense and then putting the ball there.
He continues at the line. Joust at the net. Blue Devils reset. Dig from Rubin. Here's Kurt. Diving attempt from Ingram keeps it going. Here's Williams. Pushed down by Sayer. Erica Sayer catches some air.
Now, she's not quite the 6'5" of Lizzie Andrew, but at 6'2", has some height and just full extension there. Classic stuff here from a blocker. Get your hands out over the net, arms extended, don't touch, and make it happen.
That's off the block, handled by Rubin. Here's Harvey, timing out a little on the set. Here's Williams, well wide. Another attack error. That's number 12 for the Blue Devils tonight.
And we got to bring up the block again because this block of Stanford is so good. It's making these hitters from Duke second guess where they can put the ball. You can't go right by the net because the defense is there. You're trying to place the ball somewhere in a corner. The angles are just tough to figure out.
And something that Coach Nagel talked about a little bit before this match is they're looking for quality digs they're also understanding that they have a very strong block on the Stanford side, so it's controlling what you can control. They're trying to get some aces, 2 aces per set, she said, was the goal coming into this match tonight. They do have the 1 on the board so far, but a 5-point deficit that they're working against now.
And they average only about 1.3 aces a set, so trying to kind of hit above their average there. Good for 13th in the ACC, so it's not typically one of their strong suits, but you're playing a team like Stanford, you've got to take it to them, right? If you kind of hang back, they'll eat you alive. They're so good, and so aggressive serving, a good focal point here for this Duke team. Jolene Nagel knew it was going to be a tough year coming off of last season. Some of their key pieces moving on. Carrie Keefe over to USC to focus on Beach. Grace Penn, their primary setter, moving on. Rachel Richardson accounted for nearly 200 kills. So it's a lot of offense, a lot of experience. In turn, they rely on a lot of younger players, freshmen and sophomore. The exciting thing for them is that the future looks bright. You get this much playing time for your underclassmen. I was joking with Coach this week. The best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores, right? Eventually, this will bear fruit.
And you rely on the natural leaders you have on your team. Millie Muir, the redshirt junior from Stanford, California. Yes, you heard that right. The daughter of former athletic director here at Stanford, Bernard Muir. She's the captain. It's her 2nd year for this squad, leading them in that way. She's also part of the ACC Student Athlete Committee and the executive board. Relying on folks like that to help build the culture and maintain it. Etzler setting it up for Harvey. Dug up by Ingram. Over to Williams. Yu, cross court over to E. Park-Hurt. That's off the block. Back set. Finds Yu. Here's Kurt again. Bit of a joust at the net. Williams runs into the block. Nearly finding the floor, but the dive from Yu keeps it going. A free ball for the Blue Devils. Over to Williams again. She's going to get the kill.
Props to Taylor Yu for Stanford. So many hustle plays here, but this Blue Devil team just relentless on the attack, and it pays off with Taylor Williams.
And some grit during that rally to see it through. And it's Elo at the line. At the net, pushed up by Yu, tipped over by Kurt. A block from Sayer in the middle. Williams. Here's E. Park-Hurt. Wide. Thought she got a touch again, but Duke once again with the point, back within 3.
Blue Devils, their record is what it is, but you have to give them credit. They continue to fight, to battle. It'd be very easy to say, all right, we got handled in that first set, maybe just not our weekend here in the Bay Area, but they continue to scrap here in the 2nd set against Stanford.
And in really the toughest conference in the country for women's volleyball, as that service error gives Stanford the 4-point lead once again. ACC has 6 ranked teams nationally and a national high with 3 in the top 10, but in the RPI as well, they have a national high 4 in the top 10. The competition level really does not get any better. There's Anna Pringle into serve. There's Williams. She's blocked. They'll go back to her. Off the block. Diving is Yu to keep it going. Harvey. Ingram sets it up from the back row. Plenty of time. There's Sayer from the middle. A beautiful setup from Yu to Sayer.
You can see this unfolding in slow motion. If this pass is clean to Sayer, it's a problem for the Blue Devils, and that is exactly what Taylor Yu delivered there. And what became a great kill for Sayer up front.
Right on the back line, Anna Pringle with the ace. Cardinal with the momentum right now. That's their 3rd ace tonight. Solid run for the Card right now. There's Williams, dug up by Etzler. Back set over to Harvey, off the block. Ball's out. The Tool Gets it done. Stanford the first to 15.
You were talking about this ACC league and how deep it is. We see the replay there of the tooled block. Keep in mind, this was a strong conference, and then they added Stanford and SMU. In the last couple of years, it has only gotten more ridiculously deep.
That's right. The dig from you right there. Here's Ruben getting back in the mix softly. Tip over. You keeps it alive. Opportunity for the Blue Devils over to Williams. Huge dig from Etzler. Joust at the net. Stanford comes out on top. Erupting are the fans here at Maples Pavilion.
Again, the hustle. And if you're Stanford, just get that ball somewhere near one of your middles. Good things are going to happen, whether it's Andrew or Sayer. It has been paying off.
5-0 scoring run with Anna Pringle at the line for the Cardinal. 16-8 here in the second set. Here's Williams. Got the touch, got the point. The Blue Devils chipping away to fight back.
This is what they do. Stanford builds their lead. Duke digs themselves a hole. Then they continue to try to fight their way out of it here with some strong hustle plays.
The lefty, Glass at the line. Here's Ruben. Off the block, tools it. Well across court. Elia Ruben with kill number 9 tonight. Got 6 digs as well on top of 2 blocks.
Just approaching a very casual double-double for Elia Ruben.
Leads this team with 7 on the season. 16 in total for Stanford this year. Great swing. Gritty from the Cardinal. Back set. Finds the back line. Duke now with double digits.
So Olivia Wayne's provided a nice little shot of adrenaline here. We saw an ace not long ago, and then they get her on the slide and is able to hammer that to the back line.
Had a couple of kills last night over in Berkeley. Near ace there for Duke. There's Lizzie Andrew with some power.
What a turn of events. All the emotions right there, Jen. That looked like an ace maybe for Duke, and instead it ended up to be a beautiful set here for Andrew. This is the end result.
Just her second on the evening, but 5 blocks in her back pocket. Wayne off the block, diving. Ruben trying to hang on, but can't. Blue Devils hang on.
This one just catching Stanford out of sorts. Kevin Hamley talks about appropriate errors, right? Mistakes you can live with, and those are the ones, everyone trying to do the right thing.
That one's going to go out for the service error. Number 7 this evening for the Blue Devils. Stanford up 19-11 with Ruben at the line. There's Wayne off the block. Kurt keeps it up. We'll serve back to her to set up. Gets the touch, gets the kill. Ipar Kurt. She has been threatening, and she gets her first kill here in the second set.
We talked a bit about decision-making here from Kurt, from Ruben, Andrew, among others. There are blockers in the way. Stanford confident their attack can overpower the block, and we're seeing it work.
Here's Ingram. Runs right into the block. Tip. Little miscommunication there. Here's Kurt once again. She's off the block there. Back-to-back kills.
And Duke needs to discuss things.
Timeout here on the floor, but Ipar Kurt coming into the match, making some noise. The Cardinal are up 21-11 here in the second set. We'll take a quick break for the timeout, and so will we. We'll be back in a moment. Back at it here at the timeout is complete. 21-11 in favor of number 5 Stanford over Duke. Here's Ruben serving. Near ace there. The block once again. The wall goes up. Lizzie Andrew just continues. That's number 6 she has contributed to this evening.
They cannot escape Lizzie Andrew. Everywhere they try to go, she seems to be there. Starting on the far side from our position, Andrew there. They try to get it to the other side of the net. There's Andrew, nowhere to hide.
3-0 scoring run for the Cardinal. Ruben continues at the line. Big swing right there from Elo. You could feel some of the frustration being left out with that one.
Ngazi Elo, 5th year from Peachtree City, Georgia. We mentioned one of the veterans on this team. A lot of youth in the lineup.
Service error from Olivia Wayne. Tough moment to do it. You mentioned Elo too. She was a Mountaineer Classic All-Tournament honoree. She had 10 kills against App State, hit .444, a few block assists. Good performance earlier on this season. There's Melissa Kawa into serve, and she'll get the ace. Kawa bunga.
You been sitting on that one, huh? Just her 10th set, and she comes through.
Into the net that time. You gotta love her presence coming right into this match.
I was ready with a lot of Ninja Turtle references that we will save for the 3rd, so.
Set point still for the Cardinal here. Ingram to serve. Here's you. Back set over to Sayer, who puts it away with authority. The second set in the books, 25-13. Number 5 Stanford takes it over the Duke Blue Devils. They lead 2-0, and it has been dominant so far from the Cardinal.
Look at this, pure heat. Get out of the way of Erica Sayer. This is how you finish off a set. That is an absolute laser hammered down the line.
Set number 3 coming up next. Can Duke continue and force at least a 4th, or will Stanford walk away with another sweep? We'll be back in a moment.
3rd set on tap. Stanford in front 2-0. Jenna Becerra, Greg Meskel joining you from Maples. Cardinal looking for their 13th sweep on the year. Big win last night over North Carolina. Tar Heels nipping at the heels of the Stanford Cardinal in the ACC standings. So that was a big one. And the schedule does not get much easier for Stanford. Jenna, we were just talking during the break. Pitt and SMU next weekend. That's a pivotal weekend here for Stanford.
2 top 10 matchups. Huge implications for the top of the standings for the conference. And then you think about what that means for the NCAA tournament as well, and seedings, and what that path looks like as well. So lots of excitement coming for sure.
Selection show November 30th. It'll be here before we know it. And here's Anna Pringle to get us started in the 3rd. Off the tape. And Duke starts off 1-0. So a good beginning here for the Blue Devils in what has been a tough night at the office.
First set, they've managed to score first.
Here's Williams. Just a sophomore, has grown from a 3-rotation to a 6-rotation player here for Coach Nagel. Here come the Blue Devils now. Ingram, stuffed. Should try it again, same result. They'll go the other side. That finds a hole through the defense. Cardinal put it across. Back set again on the move. Wayne rebuffed. Stanford with about 4 different blocks there on that one rally.
This is a fun one to witness. There's Erica Sayer. We've seen her on the attack. We've seen her putting up the wall. A lot of options from her.
Spencer Etzler serving now. The block again, they'll call a violation. Say a 4th hit.
See a presence at the net there. Looked like it hit the tape again, sort of the top there.
So it never got over, and then that following hit there was the 4th from Duke. Over to Ingram. Cross court, and she goes wide. So we stay with Spencer Etzler. Kevin Hambley raving about Etzler, just a freshman. Said, when I asked him who's someone that's not getting their due, should be talked about more, said Spencer immediately. Could be a really special libero by the end of her career. And an ace, yes.
Right on cue there, Greg. I like it.
Love it. Always nice when that works out. Said she's connecting on something like 92% of her passes, which is pretty good, to put it mildly. Ingram rebuffed, but tools the block, and celebration there for the Blue Devils. They'll get a point back, now 4-2.
Ingram had been threatening for Duke, gets her first kill finally here in the third set. She's been trying to make some things happen and connects finally there.
And Duke's been looking for answers here offensively. Some of the names, you know, coming in, Ashby Zubchevich, who has had big efforts this season, 21 kills against Wake Forest, NC State, things like that. Slow start for her, Avery Hamlin as well, and so you've seen Coach Nagel look at Olivia Wayne for offense, look at Lauren Ingram now for offense. A stoppage here. Maybe debating the merits of a challenge, or there could be something to do with perhaps hair. They're going to review. I think they were questioning, did something go off someone's hair? You saw Coach Nagel pulling at her hair, looking at her athlete's hair. And so now we'll go to challenge. It was fascinating. It's like this unwritten rule of how long of a conversation you can have with the referees discussing, do you want to challenge something before you actually signal to go to review?
Right. A lot of coaches, as Nagel just did right there too, they do look to their players and sort of get their thoughts, their perspective on it before they want to utilize that review card.
And see, this is where we're talking about hair, right? You see Ingram. So we're getting a good look here at the DV Sport replay. This is what the officials are looking at. So you're getting a live feed as they toggle through the different angles.
And they do have even more angles than we do on our typical broadcasts as well, which is always a good reminder for folks at home. If you can't necessarily see it on our angles, they're looking at multiple on their side.
That's a great point. Sometimes you only see a few angles on the broadcast. A fan will say, how could that possibly have been overturned? There's a few other looks that we don't necessarily get. In this instance, however, we are seeing what they're seeing.
Yes. It's always nice when we can do that. Appreciate our crew for helping us out.
So the review continues here.
And the call on the court that it was a kill for Ingram initially. I just think that's always important to remember as well, because officials are looking, is there enough to overturn this or reverse this call, or that's why that initial call still matters.
Now, typically, hair does not count as a touch.
Right.
And so you're seeing, as currently called, right, this is a tool of the block, right? It's going to come across back over the net. Now, it is going to hit some hair there of Ingram, but does it glance perhaps her left elbow? That's the question. If it was just the hair, would not count as a touch.
See Nagel having a conversation with the official, trying to understand, but
So I think what we have gotten sorted out here, right, is that the initial ruling was a point for Stanford there.
Right.
I think our initial take, at least my initial thought, was it was a tool the block went out of bounds.
Correct.
Point for Duke. Duke calls for review. And then I think was the point that Coach Nagel was trying to make was that, hey, the touch here was only hair, not shoulder, as Andrew gets the kill. Referees, I think, confirmed that there was a touch of the body there by the ball. And that's why the point went to Stanford.
Correct. So they saw that touch initially with Ingram. And there's no doubt right there from Lizzie Andrew.
Nothing to review there as Stanford in front now, 6-1 here in the third. Wayne on the attack. It's Rubin. Block gets a piece up front. Blue Devils get into system. Ingram, the tip. The dig is there by Yu. Back to Ingram. She's been the focal point here as of late for Duke. Glass keeps that alive. It's Wayne. Last touch off Taylor Yu. Point to the Blue Devils.
Duke doing a nice job. There have been a few rallies where they have hung in there and they've got the point at the end of it. This is one of them. And as you mentioned, Greg, they're trying to mix up their offensive attack a little bit more here. It's helping them out.
Goss serving. Andrew, easy money.
I mean, what else can you say about Lizzie Andrew at this point? 4th kill. She's got 7 blocks. She even has a dig tonight.
This has been her growth as a middle, becoming that complete package as a middle blocker. That's a beautiful attack there by Ngazi Elo.
That's the response that Duke is looking for in this moment. Nice power behind it. Great vision to find that angle. Great execution.
And now, you mentioned her earlier, Millie Muir's come on, the redshirt junior from right here in Stanford, California, to Sacred Heart Prep. Hasn't played in the last 5, getting the opportunity here tonight. A leader on this program. And a setter. Rubin set beautifully and terminates.
Double-digit kills on the night for Elia Rubin, just under 600 in her hitting percentage. She's got 7 digs. She is approaching that double-double, potentially her 8th this season.
Yu, back set, Andrew. Cross-court connect is there. Add another for Lizzie Andrew now, 5 kills.
4 Stanford players hitting over 400 right now. Lizzie Andrews, one of them, 571.
That's why she comes in 4th in the NCAA in hitting percentage. And now an ace.
That's a huge moment right there. Elia Rubin just broke the school record for career aces in the rally scoring era. She had tied it last night against North Carolina, and now she sits at the top with 137.
Congratulations to Elia Rubin. And then follows it up with a serve in the net, but that record stands. 10-4 Stanford. And here's Ingram. Back row attack, Harvey. Goes wide. Kevin Hambley thinks there might have been a touch. Checking. Finds no one in agreement. Certainly seemed possible there was a touch there, given the bodies in the way, but Stanford and the players on the court so often know best, and then a service error from Duke. Coco Kirsch returns to serve out of Trabuco Canyon in the Orange County area in SoCal. Quick set, Elo. Kirsch is there. Rubin. Excellent work from Godshall, diving to dig. Back set, Sayer. Sky high off the scoreboard. Give the point to Stanford. Had it stayed on their side of the net, could have been playable, but
That's right.
as it glanced the scoreboard as it went over, give the point to Stanford. And now Duke will take a timeout. Stanford pulls ahead 12-5 We'll step aside as well. Cardinal cruising here in the third. Back here at Maples, Stanford leading Duke 12-5 in the third, up 2-0. Overall, it's been all Cardinal in this one, hitting .417 for the match. Duke negative .034. All the numbers in favor of the Cardinal. Elia Rubin leading the way with 10 kills and 7 digs. Taylor Williams ahead of Duke on the offense with 5 kills, adding 5 digs there. This has not been Duke's night, have not been able to get on track at all. Williams, and there's a kill. Number 6 for Taylor Williams.
Williams now hitting in the positive. You mentioned team high 6 kills now. We talked about how she's really the key in a lot of ways for this team. Just a sophomore too, just speaks to how young they are, as we've mentioned.
Gottschall with the service error. Now 10 service errors for the Blue Devils.
That's tough if you're the Blue Devils, right? Because you have 10 service errors to just 1 ace, and that's one of the things that you can control. It's a top 5 team. They're extremely tough. The unforced errors are going to get you.
That's a strong piece of hitting right there from Goss. Blast that off of you for the kill.
Cross court, tough spot for Taylor Yu to handle.
Goss a little undersized, 6-foot middle, but has good speed there and able to move quickly across the net and attack. Another service there for Duke, but as you mentioned, trying to serve aggressively. They're looking for aces, and with that's going to come some mistakes.
Meanwhile, 6 aces on the night for the Cardinal. They've had a great time at the service line so far, coming from several different players.
Pringle serving. Goss, the dig there. Etzler. Rubin now just finds the back row. Make it 15-7 Cardinal.
I talked about how Rubin hit under 300 yesterday against North Carolina, 241, but she was under 200 the prior 2 matches against Wake Forest and NC State, exploding with 579 now.
Block there from Sayer. Back to Williams, through the block. Pringle keeps it up, over to Rubin, the roll shot controlled by Williams. Muir now to Wayne, through that block. Quick to Sayer, tries to push to the back corner, a little too long. It's Williams to serve. Stanford has been in command. Duke took the 1-0 lead in this third set, but otherwise the Cardinal never in doubt. And thanks to plays like that, Elia Rubin, another absolute blast.
Alicia Keys, this girl is on fire, playing in Maples Pavilion. Seems just about right now. Elia Rubin continues to impress.
The DJ gets it. Now 12 kills. Goss, Andrew says no. Oh, my mistake. That actually tucked in. So actually a great play there by Goss.
And you said it earlier, give her credit. Standing at 6 feet tall to Lizzie Andrews, 6'5", going right after it.
Excellent kill there by Goss, going up against Andrew. Stanford gets it right back.
Elia Rubin just continuing to do what she does. Kill number 13 for number 13 in that situation. Already tied a season high with 3 blocks as well tonight.
Harvey. Bit of an overpass, and they'll call a violation. So give the point to the Cardinal. Outside here for Wayne. Beautiful dig there by Pringle. Rubin, Williams, they won't get to it. Kill number 14. Double-figure kill effort here yet again for Elia Rubin. 7 of her last 6. Sorry, 7 of her last 8 now, double figures.
You can feel the energy the Stanford fans have, that the bench has. A lot of confidence right now.
Service error, so make it 19-10. That's you with the dub.
One of the most fun things to witness in volleyball, in my opinion, the dump, the court vision you have to have, the timing, the execution. Taylor Yu makes it look easy.
Sneaky play there. It looks great when it pays off. As you said, it requires great vision, court awareness, knowing where everyone's at. Swing there from Grace Thrower, who's come on for the first time, an outside hitter from Manhattan Beach. Just her 5th set played on the season. And now she'll serve. That's a great moment there for Thrower.
Only appeared in one match a couple of seasons ago, didn't play last year. Getting an opportunity now.
Point in favor of Duke. Back row, and the block up front from Elo.
Give Elo some credit. 3 kills in the night. That's the first block for the Blue Devils. 3-0 scoring run.
To the outside now, Kurt. Thrower from the back. Williams, rebuff. Point to Stanford.
And Greg, you just got a little present right there.
I did.
To us at the announcer table.
You can't take these home, unfortunately, Jenna.
If only.
Now, had I like bobbled that or went off my head, the camera would have tracked it beautifully.
Of course.
I caught it cleanly. There's no visual
no
record.
Evidence. I was there though, all back
Thank
there.
you, thank you. 21-13. And now Zaria Queen is in. Just her 2nd set played, so some reserves getting an opportunity here. Here's Kurt, tools the block. Zaria Queen, a freshman from Honolulu, Hawaii, getting an opportunity here late. Timeout called by Duke. Stanford up 22-13. They're on the brink here, Jenna. Just another dominant effort here from the Cardinal. One thing that was highlighted at the top was easy to get up for UNC. They're right there behind you in the standings. You know how much that means. There'll be no problem finding motivation for SMU and Pitt. A match like this where you're the favorite, sometimes that's challenging to get excited about it. Stanford took a very business-like approach from the jump.
Absolutely. I mean, they're hitting 397 so far tonight, and that's because they've limited the errors. They still have the precision that they are known for, whether that's on the attack, the presence at the net with the block. They have brought all the pieces to the puzzle together here tonight, and they're just in a good rhythm. And that sort of thing you can't always teach. It just comes with the confidence and the preparation that you put in.
And they've made Duke work. Blue Devils 26 more attacks because so many of their efforts have been denied, blocked back, long rallies. How many times have we seen Andrew or Sayer deliver blocks 3-4 times in the same rally?
That's absolutely right. 99 total attacks for Duke so far. Just 73 for Stanford, but of course they do lead in the kill category with 37 to just 18 for the Blue Devils.
So again, as we mentioned, huge weekend next weekend here at Maples. Pittsburgh on Friday night, SMU on Sunday. Pit right here on ACC Network Extra, SMU ESPN2. And then they'll host the Cal Bears back-to-back against Cal on the 19th and the 23rd as we get towards the end of the season. For Duke, they'll head back home to meet the Virginia schools, Virginia Tech, and then Virginia, before heading down to Florida for a couple. As we get towards the end of the regular year here in the ACC. Here's Queen again. Elo gets the kill there. Aiming for that back row, and Rubin and Queen were there, just could not make a play on the ball. Got deflected up front.
I like the aggressiveness from Queen to just try to go after that while she's getting the opportunity. But appreciate as well, Duke's still fighting, still trying to chip away here.
Elo to serve. Etzler now. Kurt. A blast. Ipar, Kurt. Hasn't played in the last two. Part of that rotation with Julia Blashoff. In those outside hitter spots, you understand why Ellie Rubin never leaves the lineup. One of the best in the country. But so much depth. What a nice problem for Stanford to have all these athletes available. And Kurt getting a chance here.
She had a match-high 16 kills against NC State. Hit 382 her last time out.
And that'll quickly bring up match point here for Stanford, 24-14. Here's Yu to serve to try to close things out in the third. It's playable for Duke. Williams. Yu is there. Etzler now. Harvey. The dig there from Tomlak. Back row. Etzler again. Outside, Kurt. Godshaw ready. It's Williams. Held up by Sayer. Harvey again. Slams it down. We play on. This rally continues. Quick set. Big hit. Big win. That's all for the Cardinal. They take it in 3. A dominant showing tonight here for Stanford. They left no doubt as they pick up their 13th sweep of the year.
What a way to end it. Erica Sayer with her 7th. For Cardinal with at least 5 kills tonight. They hit 397 to end it for the match. Dominant is the right word, Greg. They really looked unstoppable.
Elliot Rubin, a near double-double there. The 14 kills, the 8 digs. Taylor Yu gets a big opportunity in that center spot tonight after Logan Parks got us started. Parks had 8 helpers, but then Yu came on. 22 assists, 11 digs, so a double-double there for the sophomore from Temple City. Spencer Etzler continues to be all over the court with 12 digs for Duke. 6 kills, 6 digs for Taylor Williams. Lauren Ingram got extended opportunities here, 14 attacks. Struggled on the offensive end, but provided 3 digs. So part of that Duke effort to rotate some more athletes in. So we look at the assist game, Charlotte Glass with 9 to lead their setter attack. And again, as we discussed, it's just Stanford playing their type of volleyball. No let up with a couple of huge matchups coming next weekend.
And you talked about the depth. You said it, Taylor Yu getting her 2nd double-double of the year. Filling in for that setter role a little bit. Ipar Kurt coming in for that rotation. That's the type of depth, though, that they're going to need down the stretch in the ACC and when it comes to the NCAA tournament.
So a clean sweep here. Stanford, a brisk victory tonight in 1 hour and 19 minutes. They move to 22-3 overall, 13-1 in ACC play. Duke, their struggles continue now, 8 in a row in the loss column, 5-20, 2-12 in league play. That is going to do it for us here this evening. For our entire crew, my partner Jenna Becerra, Greg Meskel saying thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to come on back next Friday night. Big time showdown in the ACC. Stanford hosting Pittsburgh right here at Maples at 7 p.m. Pacific. Have a great rest of your Saturday night.